Hello, everybody! As you probably know, it's the Red Mage Crow, and welcome to part 2 of my first impressions of Temtem. And, you know, the reason we have a part 2 of a first impressions video is because I believe that once something reaches like 30 minutes, people's attention spans just kind of tend to fall off. Or, you know, along those lines. So, you know, let's just go ahead, begin with this. We got a battle right here, and then this is basically where everything relatively comes into play, right? This is the main thing about this game other than evolution, in which I still haven't seen an evolution at this point. But as of right now, from what I have played, this is primarily the main thing. So, what makes this game different from the other monster battle type games? I'm going to go with Pokemon and Digimon for this one. So, one thing is that in Pokemon, all wild battles are typically one-on-one. And there are some trainer battles that allow you to do, you know, 2v2, sometimes a 3v3, but most of the time it's a 1v1. Digimon, at least in the cyber sleuth aspect, primarily allows you to use 3 Digimon. And you also have a partner every now and again that helps you, which is very nice. And, you know, then there's also like the typing and whatnot, and then there's also evolution. Evolution is very important. Like Kaku here, we know what Kaku evolves into if you guys don't already know. And I name it Keikaku. You know, all according to Keikaku, guys. Also interesting that poison actually happens at the end of the battle as well. But not only that, as we walk, guess what? Poison. So, my person dies. And at this point, you know, I'm worried, you know, about my Pokemon's health. But there's no Pokemon Center, there's no healing devices, there's nothing here that I know, so I do the only sensible thing and go back home. Because typically, in most games, you can just go back home and you can, like, just rest up and whatnot and you'll be good as new. And that's basically what I do here. You know, this game shares a lot of similarities with Pokemon. Is that a bad thing? No. Can this game get in trouble for it? No. There's a lot of different type of, you know, monster battling games, and so long as everything is, you know, different in some form of aspect, everything is alright. So here's one thing that I do like about the Temtem game versus Pokemon. You can also emote, which is very nice, so you can emote to other players. Cool! I think that's really, really nice. Seeing as how this is an MMO, you should be able to relatively be like, oh, hi, oh, look, there's something called TVs. I actually have not noticed those. So I don't know what an SV or a TV is. And honestly, you know, I'll do some more research into that later. This is just me going over a couple of their abilities and whatnot, just saying what everything, you know, says and means. But the one thing I do like, you know, more than, you know, let's say Pokemon, is the amount of hand-holding this game gives you. Little to none! Little to none. Pokemon lately has been very hand-holding. Very hand-holding. And whatnot. And honestly, it's not something that I enjoy. Meanwhile, in-game, I'm gonna point this out. We can see that there's a little rocky surface there. And this is where we learn that in this game, we're going to have equipment that allows us to, you know, climb rocks. There's gonna be something to, you know, surf the ocean. They're all gonna be items. Also, another thing that I want to say is that the ledges in this game are not so noticeable. They're kind of just there. And I guess you can kind of, you know, see them, but it's, you know, should there be a border there? Is there a border? Can I jump off this? Can I not? I kind of feel like it needs to be a little bit more defined, but overall, it's fine. One other thing I like, as you probably just saw, is that you actually get dialogue conversation, and you get to choose from that. Also, one of the best mons, right there, little blue guy. You already can tell, I have my cursor over him. I'm in love with him. I love him. And I want one. And it makes me sad that I haven't seen one yet. One thing that I don't know whether or not I'm showing in this video is the Dex. That basically goes here, the encyclopedia. The encyclopedia does not tell you where to find half these mons. It doesn't tell you how to find any of the mons, as a matter of fact. Let me correct myself right there and say it does not show you anything. So, that I am not entirely happy about. You know, when the game is about catching monsters, you should relatively know where to find them. But overall, you know, Digimon kind of does this too. I say kind of, it does. Digimon doesn't tell you where to get Digimon or how to get Digimon. Typically, you know, you fight the Digimon and you just have access to it. But in the Dawn game, the Dawn and Dusk game, you basically have to go out, you have to find them, you gotta battle them, and then you can get them. You know, and that's cool. I like the Digimon version of that. I love the Digimon game. I love them, like, as of right now, I kind of like the Digimon games a little bit better. It's not Peggy! Than the Pokemon games. Just for, you know, various reasons. You know, one, Pokemon has recently become really handholdy. Two, it seems like the stories are focusing less on you, the main character, and typically more of what's happening around the main character. And is that... No, this is not Pokemon, so I'm not gonna go there. So, but this right here, this game is doing it right. Okay? Okay. This game does it right in the fact that you're just a person going on your journey. So far, nothing major has happened. But I'm not being stopped every 5 goddamn minutes with a cutscene. Oh, look at it. Also, I like when they die, they have the little swirly things of them being knocked out. It's cute. It's a nice addition. And then here comes the one mon that I think is not very pleasant to look at. And, you know, we're going to have, you know, those types of mons around. Those types of Tems. And the reason why that is very nice is that, you know, not every Tem is going to look amazing. Not every Tem is going to, you know, resonate with someone. For me, that Tem right there, the duck, does not resonate with me. The side path. I don't like it. I honestly don't like it. And that's fine. You know, we need those types of Tems in a game like this. To make all the other cute ones more cute, and to set a basis that not everything is going to be cute. You know, when I evolve my peeps, it could very well be that I'm not going to like the evolutions that happen. And that's completely fine. You drop people, you add people you like in. That's how you play the game. Go ahead. If you want to be that type of person where, you know, you just get the strongest mons, you can do that. That's the charm of a monster battling game. And this game seems to be doing just that. So far, everything is cute. Everything is nice. You get to this point, and it's like, oh, that one's not very pleasant to look at. It sets itself up in the beginning that everything is relatively cute. I bet you that there are some people who don't like Cat. I'm sure there are some people who don't like Pharaoh. I'm pretty sure that there are people who don't like Crystal, Aviary, or Kaku. You know, and that's all the charm of the game. You'll find something that you like with a game with over 100 Tems, by the way. There seems to be over, like, nearly over 100 Tems. Great! That's cool. And now we get into this point where, like, this right here felt like a slight power creep, but it was doable. You have a full team, it was doable. That squid there, the Kaiazu, was just a tad bit more difficult than all the other people. Of course, he has a good support with, you know, the Baharo. But I have to switch out both my mons. You know, it's very tactically sound, that. And this right here is a very good combo. These two. You know, when I said that this game knows that it's a 2v2, it has some pretty good combos. You got Pharaoh, and Pharaoh has something called Hypnosis. And that's great. Hypnosis puts the people to sleep. Now, who would partner well with this? Tat! Tat goes very well with this, for the simple fact that Tat, when he attacks, he has an ability that basically sleeping mons don't wake up. So when you attack a mon, you basically wake them up as soon as you attack. That's cool! You know, think about all the, you know, very, you know, combo-centric abilities that they have in Pokemon. Plus, minus, nobody uses those. I'm ranting on Pokemon at this point. But, you know, that's why I like this game a lot better. You know, because, you know, Pokemon is kind of like the base. It's the base of most monster battling games. It's a very popular game, and everyone basically knows about it or plays about it. If you know, talk about Digimon, there's going to be a very few select people who actually like Digimon, at least here in the US. I could very well be wrong about that. No? You know, and that right there is why, you know, I constantly keep going back to Pokemon when talking about Temtem. It pulls a lot of things from Pokemon, but it doesn't pull a lot of things from Digimon. No, and Digimon is a really weird game, and I absolutely love it. For the simple fact that you can basically Digivolve, go back a form, you know, level your Digimon up to a higher level, and go a completely different route, because you needed to de-Digivolve twice in order to get to that route. I think that's cool. I think that's what makes Digimon stand out. There's just so many different branching out points. And then these are a couple of the general items that you'll be able to find. Sense is basically your repel. You know, the Tem cards are your Pokeballs. The Balm is your potions and whatnot. You know, those are basically the parallels. They're parallels. They're not exactly the same. While, yes, they may relatively be the same, they're not exactly the same. And so this is basically like the computer of the game, where you get to store your squad and whatnot. And so here I talk about how I have 2 nature and 2 winds. Already, that's an unbalanced team. And that right there is the Healy Station. Nice! I love it. It's actually relatively cool. And yet again, this right here kind of falls into the, oops, I accidentally jumped off the ledge and now I have to go all the way back. Is that a problem? No! And if anything, I'll do it again. I want to progress. But, you know, I didn't see that jump until it was too late. Just saying. And, you know, right now, I'm just basically, like, going over, showing all the different type of mons that we basically, you know, see around the area. Showing you all the different type of varieties and all the different type of things. I love how the tire tamer is like, hey, you know, hey, are you fit to fight? And you can be like, ah, no, I'm a little bit tired. And he's like, too bad! Or like, you're like, yeah, you know, I'm good. And he's like, okay, well, I guess I can fight you. I like that. Also, Scully. It's a squirrel-looking Tem, right? Pokemon also has a squirrel thing called a Scorvid. Scorvid is like the ugliest looking thing. But I like this. Then again, this could technically be a fox. I still think it's kind of squirrel-like. Well, I guess it could be kind of dog-like now that I think about it. But my initial thought is that it's a squirrel. I don't know what to call it. It's called a scale. So, I want to know what, you know, that mon evolves into. And see what kind of characteristics it's going to have more prominent features of. And that will more solidify what it is. I think that's cool. And then there's also, like, you know, you don't know, you don't even know what all these guys are going to evolve into. What kind of, like, different type of typings that it gets into. Pokemon has been around for a long time. And, you know, you can kind of tell at this point, oh, that guy, he looks to be a water type. Oh, this guy, he must be a rock type, fire type, all this different type of jazz. It's been around that you can relatively tell. This game is interesting in a sense that I'm not going to 100% know what everybody is. For the most part, we can tell, you know, just off of, like, typical things, like, you know, Kaku looks naturey, you know, Crystal is Crystal, so on and so forth. But what about the mental mons? What about all the other different types that we probably have not seen yet? You know, those are the things that I'm excited to see in this game. And, you know, they also have moves like Nimble here. I think it's pretty cool too. You get to choose your ally and up their speed. I don't know. I don't think that Digimon or Pokemon relatively does that. I know that in Pokemon has some abilities where, like, you know, oh, hey, I raise your special attack, I raise your special, you know, defense, and all that different type of jazz. But most of the time, in single-player aspects, that ability is not, you know, realized. And that's why Tem does it so much better. Because you have an ally to give stats to. That's another good thing about this game. It knows that it's a tag team monster battle. And it has moves that basically, you know, cover it in that aspect. I like it. That's why I am liking this game so far. You know, there's the shroud of mystery. There's the excitement of exploring what this game has to offer. It's not fully well knowing what that adventure is going to entail. And, you know, that's what I feel that, you know, Pokemon has been lacking as of late. It's been lacking the adventure aspect and been focusing on giving Pokemon a solidified story. But when I saw this enthusiastic tamer, I want you guys to tell me what you guys thought this person looked like beforehand. Like, did this person look like this? Did this person look like that? Leave your comment down below what this person you thought looked like. For me, Bomberman came immediately to mind. This person looks a lot like a Bomberman character. Just taller. And more human out. You know? It looks more like a human. and whatnot. I think that's cool. I like the way that this person is designed overall. Ooh, boy. Like, I feel like, you know, one, it's gonna take me a little while longer to see how this game paces out. How this game, you know, chooses a difficulty curve. Because as of right now, you know, I don't exactly know. I'm still in the beginning. By the way, that guy's name is Pukey, so if I do get one, I'm naming him, like, Vomit. Just because. It makes me a little pukey. Oh, but in all seriousness, like, this game has so many interesting characters. It has so many, like, cool-looking mons, and it's like, what are they going to do with all these resources? And my biggest question right here is, how are they going to differentiate themselves from what's currently already in place? You know, Pokemon has its formula, and the formula is becoming more and more weak, which is why this game is such a nice, fresh, like, it's a good bit of fresh air. It's new, it's fresh, you know, and everyone's going to want to figure out what's going on. Digimon, it has its formula set out, but they can still tweak it every now and again. There's a new Digimon coming out, and it looks to be, like, very much tweaked to be more of a Disgaea looking game. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen the commercial for that. I'm interested in that game too. So, this game needs something other than these really cute mons that allows it to stand out above everything else. And as of right now, you know, world, amazing. Hems look good. Characters can look this wacky. But everyone up to this point was so normal, and then you see this guy, and it's like, whoa, you know, they can basically make everyone look this crazy, this kooky. This person was the one that immediately stood out to me. I need to fight this person. Find out what's going on with this person. I think that's really, really cool. But overall, this is just like, as of right now, this game is $30-something. Do you guys understand? This game is $30-something. Like 35, I think. And, you know, with that in mind, you guys basically have to remember this game is an MMO. Also, that is still in progress. It's a whip. I love it. I love how they do that. You gotta, like, remember that, like, you have to pay for this game. And it's very nice. It's a very nice game. Don't get me wrong. Also, remember how the professor made this Pokemon? He said, this Mon is one of the most exclusive and rare. Why does this guy have this Tem? Why? I thought that, you know, this Tem, two-way, was a very, very niche and specific Mon. By the way, I got Tepiggy! I caught one, guys! And whatnot. I went around and I looked for it. It's in the area. And whatnot. If you guys want to relatively, like, you know, play this game, I don't want to give off where I'm finding all these mons. Or maybe you want to know where you find all these mons. And, you know, if you guys, you know, want me to do just a normal playthrough of this game, let me know. I'll put this up every now and again. I'll put them up for, like, 45 minutes if you guys want. You guys, and that's another question I want to ask. you know, do you guys want to see, you know, longer videos? I personally don't think that longer videos are very good. But I could be wrong, and I want to know your guys' opinion. Now, with that also being said, we got this guy, who I'm going to assume is Pukey's evolved form. And that's kind of cool, that we get to see an evolution this early on. That isn't a bug. You already know where I'm going with this. I don't need to say anything. But I got to Piggy, and I'm being honest with you. Piggy is staying with me. Piggy isn't going anywhere. Piggy is mine to keep. And whatnot. To do with what I want, in which to battle people. Yes. Piggy is good. The only thing about Piggy is that it's a wind mod. Lovely. I love Piggy. And that's a very, and like I love seeing like everyone like just kind of like walking about. The environment is like not exactly like you know, it's not exactly how you would, it's not linear. And then here we're getting really close to the end. Max is great because he's not a friendly person. I already went over this in part 1. So if you didn't see part 1, I'll leave a link in the description down below for you to check it out. It's a little late for me to relatively be saying this, but I'll probably, you know, put some words, you know, in the video and whatnot to help me out there, but, you know, this right here is also relatively cool. You get to meet, you know, a couple of other characters. And she's actually pretty decent, like, but my problem is, right, if you take a look at, like, these 4 characters, right, like right here, who stands out the most? The person who stands out the most is Max. Sophia doesn't stand out that much. She has, like, you know, a darker teal hair and whatnot, and her clothing are different than a lot of the other characters, but altogether, you know, I wouldn't say that she's like very standout-ish, especially when they say that she is the, you know, similar thing to a gym leader. You know, if you were to like take a look at a lot of the gym leaders in Pokemon, you can be like, oh yeah, that person stands out, that person stands out, this here stands out. If I honestly had to say what they need to like do, is that they need more interesting designs for their people. Because right now, Sophia just isn't doing it for me. You know, Max is pretty great. I love Max. The turd he is. But I also don't like the professor. The professor's too bland, and he doesn't exactly look like the best guy. That is going to be one gripe I do have with this game. I think that, you know, there needs to be, the more special characters need to be more special looking than they do right now. But overall, still not a bad game. I think this game is really good. And when I say really good, it's because I know, and hear me out, I know how a game's flaws can make a game good. If that makes any sense. So, I've been playing games all my life, right? And the reason I know what makes a game good, what makes a game bad, I know, you know, those very reasons. You know, and I know what I like, I know what I dislike. Other people are different. And I know that. Is this game going to be the game for you? Let me tell you right now, okay? this game is $35. More or less. And this game, in part 1, we saw just how laggy this game can get. Now, if you can get past that, if you want to experience a new journey, a new adventure with these things that, you know, these Tems that basically are like other, you know, games, then this is a good game so far. You know, I'll play this game, you know, and I'll get to, like, the later game, and I'm more than less likely will make another video on this, unless you guys want to see me do more in this game. Like, regularly. But overall, that is the overall deciding factor. So far, the MMO aspects are not fully apparent to me. You know, typically, like, in an MMO, like, there would be, like, oh, you can trade, you know, there's item giving, you know, you can fight people in PvP. This game is most likely going to have a PvP. You know, that is, like, already there. Trading? Maybe. I have not seen a trading thing yet. I want to know what that is. But overall, you know, there's so far is not... There's not enough here for me to see why this game should be an MMO. If I can make that perfectly clear. Sure, you can see people running around. It makes the game feel more alive than, you know, Pokemon or Digimon. So you see other people running around. I like that. But is it necessary? Maybe. I don't know. I'll leave that for you guys to decide. But, if anything, you know, there's nothing more I can relatively say at this point for my impressions. My initial impression is that this is a good game that has flaws, and the creators are trying to work around those flaws. So thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next recording. See ya!